Over the span of 20 years, Nigeria has witnessed a significant increase in building collapse that has resulted in loss of lives and livelihoods, as well as the displacement of families. In fact, over this period, the country ranked #1 in the frequency and intensity of building collapse in Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to Nigeria Now on Echo Television International. My name is Lois Juraki, and remember we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can send us your comments live on the show. I have Solomon Sambusabe. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, day before yesterday, we had the most recent building collapse in Lagos. And from reports, we've seen that Lagos is a commercial hub in Nigeria. And then it has the highest number of building collapse from, let's say, 20 years ago. There are a lot of them. We have in other states. We know of the Kano recently. But for Lagos, it's like, it's becoming a norm that buildings collapse every now and then it's becoming an issue, because when you look at all those issues of building collapse, like I said from the opening, people are being displaced, lives are being lost, people lose their livelihoods because of the issue of building collapse, and it's really becoming something that needs to be looked upon in Nigeria.
You're right, Lois. It's really alarming. You know, when you check the statistics and then you see the number of lost, you know, when you talk about capital and then you talk about lives, you know, and it's like, it's a place that, that government are not really, it's like they are not really worried. So at the end of it, you look at it, you will see it as if all the sectors are failing. Why? If you ask me, I would tell you categorically that is a result of bad governance. Because if you check, because every country try to look at, okay, where are we doing good? And they improve. Where are we not doing good? Then they improve. They see it as a menace, you know, because there's a picture that it will paint out there. Okay, now if you talk about building collapse and you check the record, Lagos has the highest, right? I have statistics that say it from 1974 till 2000, you know, about 217 lives were lost. Because I tried to go back. So if you check the series of collapse that is from back then, it gives you how the picture will, how the future will look like. Because if it's something that has been tackled then and they see it as something that need an urgent attention, I don't think the number should be alarming by now. It's something that it should be tackled. And then when you look at it, there are agencies that are sort of with the responsibility of handling this issue of building. We have the town planners, you know,
Urban and regional town planners.
Urban and regional town planners. You know, we have civil engineers, you know, those that handle the buildings. Last week, I think one of the comrades that was talking on TV, he said, you see, when you don't give attention to your education, be rest assured that that thing that you will give out to the society will not be something that will really hold waters. If you are building doctors, there will be quack doctors because they didn't go to proper training as required. You know, like looking at this 6 months now, if you are saying they should come back, okay, they are thinking of coming back, they are thinking of going back to where they stopped, meeting up, and then thinking of starting a new session. They are humans. That means definitely they will be overstretched.
Yes.
In this situation, you will see so many compromise. Yes. Okay, just imagine an engineer that is supposed to go setting through and then you are like, okay, now that we are back, we are thinking of the new session, so let's just do and then let them go. The comrade was saying, you know, that these are some of the things that they are saying. Okay, just imagine you are sending engineers out and then they are to go and supervise a building. These are the kind of things that you see. And then I checked the statistics, you know, what causes all of this. There are human errors, you know, that ordinarily it can be handled even from the foundation. Because when you look at it, you find out they are using substandard materials, trying to cut corners, you know, is not obtainable in their profession. Because protecting life, you know, having human protection first in your mind, because you are building and people will stay in. So number one thing is the safety. Whatever you are using, can it hold that building? Because people are going to stay. Okay, just look at what happened and look at the kind of lives we are losing. So these are some of the things, these are some of the factors that when you put together, you will see that you will say the agencies started with the responsibility to do that. They are not really prompt when it comes to their responsibility. Even though we had that for the first time that the commissioner of environment resigned. And I said, yes, this is the right way to go. At least he's taking responsibility. He has failed in a particular place because he can't take that. Look at the life that we lost.
You know, we've always been talking about people are supposed to lose their jobs, or they should resign if they are not competent for a particular job given to them to handle. And I made mention of Boris Johnson that had to resign because of some of the issues they brought upon him in the United Kingdom. And then now they have a new prime minister. We'll see what she will do at her own sports. But then, you know, it's good that he noticed, or he owned up to his failure, and then he had to resign because that particular thing wasn't, like, you can count the series of collapse in Lagos State under his watch, I guess. And the issue of collapse didn't even start now. Since from 1974 to 2019, over 221 buildings have collapsed across Nigeria, not just in Lagos, but Lagos has the most occurrence, and then most of the collapse in the country. And then, just like you said, most of it is based on human error and trying to cut corners and all of that. I remember when my dad was building recently, not like when we're still young. He was like, okay, you people should come and join in the building process so that we can cut the manpower and all of that. You can help out in, even if it's water you're going to fetch and all of that, because you know how it is now. To build is not a funny thing. And so right now, I was angry about it. Why would you should pay people to do this job and all of that. But then now I can say I have experience when it comes. I know how a foundation of a swampy area should look like. I know how a foundation of a solid ground should look like, or a rocky area should look like, because of that experience. Soil, yes, for the fact I didn't even read building. There are people that went to read building and construction in the tertiary institution. Some even have it in the secondary schools. You have architecture, you have building and construction and all of that. That's the basis. And then when you go to the higher institution, you still go through building, urban and regional planning. And all of that. So, you know, when you look at some kind of building, some kind of foundation, some people do sometimes you will be wondering, what is this engineer trying to do in this place? Because when you look at it, it's not solid enough. There's one building close to my house. The place is like a waterlogged area, and then there was a funny foundation that was happening there. And I was like, wait, these people, is it that this man wants to build and put tenants? At the end of the day, those people are the ones that are going to suffer this. Because if he's not going to live here, then the people that he's going to bring in would be the ones to suffer there. So these are some of the things that when you look at people that are not even qualified. When we are talking about building collapse in Nigeria, we're not talking about a duplex collapsing. We're talking about story buildings, big buildings that you see from the top to the bottom. It will just go down on people. You count over 45, 50, 100 people that are dead. Some people will be under the debris. You can't even find their dead bodies. And these are the kind of collapse we are talking about. We've seen it happen in other countries. But even if it's happening in other countries, it shouldn't happen in Nigeria. And even if it will happen, it's becoming too frequent. And so these agencies that have been kept to look at these things, I think they should be up and about doing what the necessary things to be done in order to see how this building collapse will reduce to a very minimum level or none at all, if it's possible. Because when you look at what are the agencies meant for, if these things are happening, what are they meant for? I think, and people are being paid for these jobs. People are being paid to go and check. You're supposed to be checking town planning. You don't check how buildings are being made. People will just build anyhow they want, and they use cheap materials and all of that, things that are not even supposed to be used. You see some of them using it. So it's really not acceptable that these things are happening. It should be checked properly.
Yes, I agree with you, and that is the reason why we are talking about this program, about this particular problem, this issue of building collapse. If you look at it the way you said, I am so happy because our leaders are beginning to take responsibility, like I said earlier, and then people should start asking questions, and then like we always say, in your own given responsibility, try and do your best. Be truthful to whatever you are doing. Be committed. Because if you do your part, I don't think you will endanger some people. Like, for instance, the issue of building. Somebody is supervising the job. Somebody designed the building. You understand? Somebody approves it. In designing the building, you have materials that is being expected to be used based on the nature of the building and then the nature of the soil. Is it a weak soil? Is it a swampy area? Whatever. You are expected to put those things in place, and then someone will check it and say, yes, based on the standard, this one is appropriate, and this is what you go with it. And then some of them you find out lack of proper monitoring is one of the issues that is really eating us up. If you look at it, even the federal government, they will award a contract somewhere and nobody is supervising. Even if someone is supervising, he's not doing his work as expected, because you allow the people at the site to just do whatever they feel like doing. If they said this particular mixture of sand, we are putting so bag of cement. If you are saying you put 10, you find them putting like 4 or 5 because somebody is not there. And then they go ahead with whatever project they are doing. And at the end of the day, people that will use the place suffer. Even in road construction, you find out, the way they do it, the next 6 months, and then water will just wash it away. And then you begin to ask yourself, this contract, is it that someone didn't check it? During the project, is it that there is no supervisor, or what is happening? Because sometimes they pay them to look the other way around, simply because of their selfish interest. Someone is looking at what he will gain. That's why we say, if all the systems are working, believe me, you will see less of this. We will not talk. We will talk less of all of these things. We can only discuss our progress. How we are winning. That's what we will discuss. But you wouldn't be discussing this, because if the system is really working, everything will fall in place.
Definitely.
Everything will fall in place.
They say a more recent record of building collapse incidents in Nigeria shows that between 2011 and 2019, about 84 collapse incidents were recorded and only 21 happened outside Lagos. So from all of these things, you see that Lagos is like the epicenter of building collapse in Nigeria. And then the report adds that 59% of these incidents involve buildings still under construction, while 41% were existing structures. So even those that have not even been done with, they are collapsing. You can imagine. That means, like you said, some people are not doing their jobs. I've seen building sites that the engineer or the supervising person that is supposed to be there, when he comes in the morning, some will not even come to the site at all. Some will just come in the morning, okay, who is here, they will just, okay, they will take their leave and leave, maybe till the next day they will come and check it, or probably they will come later in the evening when the workers are waiting for their payments. That's the only time you see them there. And then there are some of these things, let's say, not human, what humans have done that it has made these buildings to collapse. There are some things like causes of building collapse, such as natural hazards can happen, material fatigue, aging, terrorist attacks, and design flaws. Human error is majorly in construction that has it has become a prominent factor in building collapse. Human error, most of the times you can put that as the major factor or a major cause of building collapse, because when you look at some of these things, just like we said, the monitoring, I think that's even the major thing. Like the people that are supposed to be supervising these buildings, they are not doing their job. Because if you are there, if you say 1, or let me see, how do they even measure the sands? Because sometimes you see them fetching from one side to another. When you say 10 bags, and then like you measure 4 bags are being used, for God's sake, how would it won't work? It won't work. But when 10 bags of cement is supposed to be used and is used accordingly, I think we will not even have the issue of buildings collapsing in the country.
You know, they use roads.
Yes.
They use sand. They use concrete, and all of this, they have their own calculation.
Yes.
What kind of building are you using? Are you building? Is it 10-story building? Definitely. You can't use 2 mm rod. You know, to do that construction, everything is being calculated. When you talk about that, yes, Lagos is a swampy area. It's difficult to build there. But excuse me, we have so many swampy areas in the world. Why is it that even in the same Lagos, I don't want to go out, because if you talk other places, you know that they are being surrounded by water, is all the place a swampy area, and then you see amazing buildings, you know, buildings that blows the heart. When you see them, they are standing. You get it. I don't want to go there. But let's come to Lagos. There are still structures that are beautiful that you will see and still say, yes, it's your country, and you see, you appreciate them. Coming from even when the building was erected, they are still there, they are standing. I ask question, why are they still standing? Because someone did his job very well, and they are still standing. And people are still using it up to today.
The only thing is that they just need to renovate when maybe some things are not.
But why would you tell me that now in this present generation that you even have everything at your palm, that scientifically, you know, these things can just be, it's not difficult. Like I begin to tell myself, okay, the building is not even yet done, and you're taking 7-story building and then everything is collapsing. Why? How? We have more than 7-story buildings in Lagos that are 30 years. And they are still standing. Why? Someone did his job well. So why can't we use the new technology? That's what I wanted to say earlier. Why can't we use the new technology? The world is evolving. You have materials that are not even that are scientifically proven that you can use them. that they will make your building strong, they will make your building, you know, more accommodating and then safe. In this present generation, we are not supposed to be hearing building collapse, you know, in this present generation with the sign with this present advancement. You know, that's the way it sounds. But I just feel that I think the agency that is saddled with this responsibility should wake up. The government should wake up, because it's not telling good on the government.
Yes, and talking about agencies, there are a lot of them, especially in Lagos, that is the epicenter for all of these things. I want to call on the agencies to do their job. Like, they should be up and about doing what they are supposed to. There are various state government agencies in Lagos, and then I know not just Lagos, across the country we have them. And these agencies, we have the planning, okay, we have building control agencies, we have physical planning permit authority, state safety commission, and state material testing laboratories to ensure the integrity of building projects in states. If Lagos State have all these agencies, I don't see the need for it to have all this building collapse up and, you know, here and there. This, I'm calling on these agencies now to do the needful. Like, you are there saddled with the responsibility of checking these things, then you should do it. Because if they're not doing it, I think they should be removed, or they should resign, just like the commissioner did. They should leave the office and leave people that are competent and want to work, do the job. If not, I don't see the need for them to be there, or probably they should close down this agencies, because we are talking about monies that needs to be funded on these agencies, and you're collecting salary and you're not doing your work. I don't see the need for you to be there. So this is, I'm just saying, I'm calling on them to do what they are supposed to do. And then the government, you know, most times they'll say you should you should look for a way forward. I think a way forward is good when people are being transparent in what they do. I think it's a way forward.
You see, there are negative effects to all of this building collapse. You know, number one, you know, all these professionals, you have to go through professional course, you have to be licensed, you know, before you can start practicing. You know, things like this, you know, it will lead to withdrawal of license. You understand? Then projecting whether your country or your state in bad image, because there will be loopholes of when it comes to issue of good governance. You understand? Because you will see that there is no leadership. Yes, if there is a proper check and balance, you know, things like this will not happen. Like you rightly said, if someone is really doing his job, then some of these things will not happen. You know, all these laboratories that we are talking, you know, to check all of these things, are people adhering? Where is the Standard Organization of Nigeria? Son, what are they doing? People are there. People are being paid with taxpayers' money. And then some people are going out there to just go and look for their daily leave. The laborers that are there, those are the people that are being caught, you know, under the web. They didn't go out to just go and die under someone irresponsibility, you know, of doing the right thing. I don't think is good, you know, when it comes to things like I feel when things like this happen, they should check whoever is involved, that you did something wrong that leads to this. I think these people should be taken to court, and they should answer what the Lord is saying, you know, if it means taking them to jail, because you can't supervise a building that someone's father, someone's son, someone's sister will just come and die just like that because of your negligence. Yes, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Then you should feel the way they will feel too, by taking you to take responsibility of what you do. If the court say you should go to jail, then you should go to jail. If someone dies in your hand because of your recklessness, you know, then you should take responsibility for that. I feel that is the way to go, because if we don't do that, people will continue to do the normal thinking that is business as usual. Business as usual, how?
At the
You're losing
detriment
lives,
of
you know,
people.
at the detriment of you want to cut corners and get more money in your pocket. Is not acceptable at
You
all.
know, if only the government would do be transparent, unveil all these investors, the architects, the
Anybody that is
consultants, the quantity
involved,
surveyor,
yes.
every other
Yes.
person that was involved.
Suppliers, yes.
Yes. I think this would reduce the issue of collapse. And then some of these agencies, when you go there, some of them will complain they don't have the resources or the things, the equipment they need to do this job. I think the federal government should be able to provide the necessary equipment and all these things needed for them to do this job. And at the end of the day, I think all these things, will not even talk about it anymore.
Lois, I'm telling you and I'm assuring you, you know, all of these things is not the issue of there's no equipment to monitor or to do this. You know, it's just that somebody is not doing his job. Like you said, once there's a building, someone is supplying something. What is he supplying? Is he supplying the right thing? If someone is mixing a cement, is he mixing the right thing? Someone has to be there to monitor. But once someone is not there, people will just do whatever they feel like doing. You see, I feel one particular thing is this proper monitoring. It is very, very important. Once we activate that, yeah, someone will check so that we'll have check and balance, you know.
Yes, it is very necessary for check and balances and for monitoring, for people to be up and about their duties as they should. If not, by so doing, we will have less of the issues of building collapse. And it has been Nigeria Now on Echo Television International. I did this with Solomon Sambu Sabi, and I remain Lois Turaki. Have a beautiful day ahead.